Right, well, thought we'd go for a walk today. That's me and the Ginger Whinger there, or the Orange Goblin, that is Bo, and this is Bramber Castle. That's Bramber Church, and see this big bit of flint wall there? That's some of the remains of Bramber Castle. So I thought we'd come up and have a walk around here today and see what you reckon. It's been quite a while since I've done a vid, and a couple of people said maybe I ought to make some more, so God help us, I got myself a GoPro camera and I thought I'd have a go at making some videos, and so I thought I'd do something to do with, I'm quite interested in local history, and where I live's quite a nice part of the world, so I just thought I'd take you on a few walks around there and yeah, come and accompany me and find out a few bits and pieces of interesting parts of Sussex. This is the remains of Bramber Castle. Let's come round. There you go, that's the full 360. So you can see some of the flint wall in the distance there. That hill there is the old keep, and that big edifice there is what remains of the castle walls. So we'll have a wander around and show you a few bits of it. This is a Norman castle originally. It was built in 1073 by William de Braw, who was one of William the Conqueror's top fellas, which I suspect would have made him a proper bastard to have survived and thrived in those times. It's quite nice though, isn't it, around here? There's beautiful views. You can see sort of why it was built, picked on this bit of ground. As we come round, I'll be able to show you a few of the views. This is some more of the flint walls around here. We're coming up to the, around this side, we're coming up to the edge of the knoll that this castle was originally built on. I'm going to get over to the edge there and see how wide the river used to be. Another fun fact, Bramber Castle was at the heart of a little bit of drama during the Barons' Revolt. King John took the Lady de Braw. There was another William de Braw, funnily enough, same name as the originator of the castle, the original owner of the castle and builder of it. She and two sons were taken to Windsor Castle by forced to be held hostage there by King John, and subsequently starved to death. There's a little ghost story attached to that as well. There are sort of various ghosts of children have been seen wandering Bramber Castle's grounds, and they reckon it might be something to do with those kids, but as soon as they died in Windsor Castle, it seems a bit strange that they'd be haunting around here. But oh my, what do I know of the afterlife? Right, you can't see through the trees a little bit. There's no way of zooming in on this camera, unfortunately. That's something I might have to look into. The edge of this knoll that this is built on went right onto what was the River Adur in the sort of the mid-centuries. You can just, I think you can catch, there's plenty of water down there, and just in the distance there you can see the River Adur. Well, originally all this floodplain, this in front of us, this now salt marsh, this is originally the size of the river. Once it was 1.5 miles across. It's barely about 50 yards across nowadays. But yeah, the castle was built on a knoll, natural knoll overlooking the river, which was 1.5 miles across, and then it had a bloody great moat around it. Just coming down, this is some of the remnants of the part of one of the watchtowers of said castle, I would say, because this would have followed the course of the river and been able to see anyone coming up around here. You'd be able to see what they were up to, who was coming from. You'd know about it, that they were on their way before they did, I should think. It's a lovely old day, absolutely beautiful. Ah, here we go. Right, let's come down. You can see these steps. You just come down to this natural watchtower. I just have to make sure the Orange Goblin don't go leaping off the edge of the castle. Oh, a bit of vertigo for you. You can look right down there, see how steep the hill was that this is built on, and that's the remains of the moat down there. We'll go down and around that in a moment. But as you can see from here, over that there, you can see the edge of the downs just directly in front of us now. And this is the river. This was what was the Ader. Boo, come over here. Bloody dog. This would have, Boo, come on, bear with me 1 second. Classic castle design, bloody great big mound in the centre of the walled keep. An area taking us up to what would have been the original, like the Lord's Hall, and the final place to need defending should the castle be under siege. Oh, it's lovely up here, but you can't really see much outside of being surrounded by a bunch of lovely trees and a big blackberry bush. You can see the remnants of the wall just through there. Steep up here though. I mean, that's just about to go down that way. It's not too bad, but you wouldn't have wanted to fight your way up there, that's for certain. But wait till you see the moat. Interestingly though, something you don't see every day is someone flying the Union flag. So that's quite nice, isn't it? And directly behind there, you can see in the distance, just to the left of the tree, right in the distance, that's the cement works tower that I was on about. That's the big chimney. Yeah, not being nationalist or anything, but it's quite nice to see an old building, even with a church, just with the Union flag flying above it, in this green and pleasant land. Right, just to see that path, that is in actual fact the remains of the moat. I'm just bringing you around this bridge. It once went over it, and here we've got all this path down here is also the remains of the moat. Now you look how steep that bank is going up there. There, you would not have wanted to fight your way into this castle, that's for certain. Let's go and have a look around the moat anyway, see what you're saying. So yeah, I'm just heading down, trying not to kill myself as I'm walking down. Just heading down here, looking at these walls. I'll just put the camera around so you can see the height of all these. It don't really do it justice. And if you look up like that, and then you can see how high up that is. It's only probably about 25 yards, but that'd be 25 yards of absolute hard bloody work getting up there, that's for sure. Keep an eye on the orange goblin there, and Chewbacca. Don't be fooled by the cuteness of this dog. She is a little sod when she wants to be, but bless her heart. Yeah, go on you go. Even savage. Oh. Still even steeper, see there up. You can see the flint walls at the top there, so how far around we are so far. Steep old lot, isn't it? Now this was, because the river was so deep, I believe this had water in it as well. So they had the bridge that you could go across, but that would obviously been controlled access. Time of battle or whatever, you had the higher walls up from there, from that gate as well, so it would be doubly secured. You couldn't, it wouldn't matter how big an army you had, you would only be able to get so many across at a time, so a much smaller force could defend it quite well for a long time. So you'd just be left with trying to starve them out, and with them being right on the river, I don't know if you'd be able to do that really. Certainly they wouldn't have any problem getting water, or sort of being able to keep vaguely sanitary, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah, bloody great big steep hill, huge thick flint wall at the top to fight your way through and over. This would not have been, I mean, it wouldn't have been an impossible nut to crack, but you'd have needed a big army, I reckon. Yeah, now we're just coming up to where this will be there's a hill that takes us right down to the depth of the river, and you'll see just how high up from the water's edge it would have been if we're considering where we're walking now. Oh, woodpecker, we're considering where we're walking now would have been underwater as well, by at least 6 foot, and you'll get an idea of just how deep the river was. Here it comes, the orange goblin. Right, so just walking over, but now we're coming to where the water's edge would have been, and just how much deeper this hill. There's more up height up to the edge of the castle walls, and this is still that much, but now look how steep this drops down and into the water. So that'll take you down another sort of, there's about another 20 foot I reckon, going down into there. So it's a deep old river once. See, it's just a salt marsh on the other side of the trees now. Trying hard not to kill myself as I walk and talk. But yeah, this is a interesting old place. There's a few ghost stories. I said there's the one about the various kids ghosts have been seen floating around here. Whether that's something to do with the two young lordlings that were starved in Windsor or not, I don't know. There's also a tale up from Stenning. Howls were heard, unearthly howls were heard of a night time, and reported by local policemen who were patrolling Stenning at the time. They kept hearing these howls from the coming up the castle way, and took it to be some kind of ghostly haunting. It turned out it was an old lady up the lane calling for her cat every night for a month or so. So even the old Bill back in the day were prone to superstition and the like. The same as we all are, silly buggers. Now I'm at the bottom of this. It gives you another idea of how the hill goes. Right up to the top there. And that up there is where we were looking out from that little stone expanse of wall. There's another bit of it around here that I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, look how high up that is now. Here we are, just coming up to the edge of the cat. Up to the edge. There's the bottom of the church there with the Union flag flying still, and that takes us up to the top once. Go on you go. Hit that there. This is bringing ourselves back to the bridge once more. And once we're through here a little bit, final money shot, Bramber Church. So, Bramber Castle, built 1073, fell into disrepair 1450, or fell out of the hands of the Debrow family 1450. In ruins by the 1600s apparently. So, but testament to build quality is the there you go, look at that. Yeah, up behind me is the remnants of part of the wall which would have been the opening watchtower. Hang on, let's just take that around. You can see where this bridge is now. That would have been the only controlled way into the castle. Bloody great watchtower there, keep tower, and so on. There you go. So anyway, cheers for that. Thanks for joining me in my walk with me, the Orange Goblin, just coming out of Bramber Church and Bramber Castle. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. The parish church was built in 1073 as part of the castle residences and defences, and today it's the only part of the castle still standing and in regular use. Nice one. We'll see you next time.